Mary and Max is a stop-motion animated indie film made back in the glorious year of 2009. I would call it kind of a dark comedy, but it's definitely more funny than anything else, at least to me. I don't know, I find it funny. Maybe that's a bad thing.
And as for drugs, well, drugs are bad. You shouldn't do drugs.
I want to take a moment and immediately point out that this film is beautiful. Everything had to be painstakingly crafted to this very strange but satisfying look. It's amazing what they've done here, from the characters to the semi-abstract locations and objects. Everything has a very distinct, handmade look to it.
Impressive. Very nice.
The story itself is pretty wacky. It's based on a true story, but I honestly can't confirm if that's true or not. Maybe parts of it are. The film begins with some voiceover narration telling us about the main character, Miss Mary Daisy Dinkle.
Mary Dinkle's eyes were the colour of muddy puddles. Her birthmark, the colour of poo.
Mary is an 8-year-old girl from the fucking land down under, mate.
A fucking VB long neck at 20 to 8 in the fucking morning.
She lives with her parents, who are pretty mediocre. Her mother is a psycho and drunk that steals whatever isn't bolted down. Her father is basically absent from the picture and works probably the most mundane job ever in existence. Mary doesn't have any friends other than her pet chicken. No one at school likes her, and her parents hardly want anything to do with her. Mary spends most of her days watching her mood ring, waiting for it to change color, watching her favorite program, the Noblets, while eating pretty bizarre snacks and trying to cure her neighbor's homophobia. She's a very strange but curious child, with many questions that she needs answers to, and no one in her life to answer them. She needs a friend, someone to answer her questions, someone to actually listen to her, someone to care. One day, Mary has an idea. She finds a random name in the New York White Pages and tears the address from the book. She decides to write a letter to a Mr. Max Horowitz to hopefully find some answers and possibly make a friend. Meanwhile, Max Horowitz, a 44-year-old Jewish man living in the very quiet town of New York City, had a pretty normal life. Every week, he waddled his way to Overeaters Anonymous. He had a goldfish that he would replace annually. He even watched Mary's favorite show, The Noblets. He never missed an episode. Max was smart, well-read, and experienced in many life lessons. Suffering with several mental illnesses, mostly undiagnosed, Max rarely lets himself get weighed down, and has a pretty level and positive head most of the time. And yet, just like Mary, Max doesn't really have any friends. He was kind of an outcast as well, similar to Mary. His imaginary friend, Mr. Ravioli, was about all he had for a relationship. The rest of the film pretty much covers both Mary and Max's lives, while becoming very good pen pals, even from such a great distance apart. With the help that they receive from this friendship, we see both of their lives improve significantly. But with that, also hardships. The film ends when Mary reaches her early 20s and has finally saved enough funds to go to New York and visit her lifelong friend. Without going into too many more details, this film is pretty deep, it's pretty funny, and it's sad all at the same time. But with the storytelling and the visuals, it all comes together so well to depict this pure story of maturing and friendship at the most needed of times. Don't get me wrong, this movie is drugs, but it has so much character and so much to say all at the same time. And at only an hour and a half worth of runtime, it's definitely, in my opinion, a masterpiece.
Remember, no monetization.
Hello, children. Daddy's home. Are you guys hungry? Daddy brought home some milk. Let me ask you all a simple question. Do you remember when Disney cared? Okay. Do you remember when Disney used to be creative? Alright then. Do you remember when Disney used to not copy their own movies and repackage them with some less than ideal new changes? In the good old days when Disney copied someone else's work but added enough creativity and amazing visuals that honestly, I can forgive them for the story not being 100% brand spanking new. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, do you remember Treasure Planet? Treasure Planet is a beautifully animated sci-fi adventure film from the year of 2002. It tells the tale of the classic novel Treasure Island in a fresh new way by adding aliens to it, taking an old story and adding a dash of Star Trek and a handful of Star Wars. This movie is beautiful.
Perfect. Perfect. Everything, down to the last minute details.
Jim Hawkins, voiced by Joseph Gordon-Levitt, is basically Luke Skywalker. He works at his mom's inn and gets arrested for dealing crack in the back alley.
Praying for my life.
One night a spaceship crashes in the parking lot, causing millions in damages.
You are under arrest.
I'd better call Saul.
Jim helps the dying Ninja Turtle inside, and that boy kicks the bucket. But he gives Jim a puzzle ball that's actually a map that will lead him to the hidden treasure planet. Unsure of how to actually open and read the map, Jim and his mother, escaping the damages caused by pirates who destroyed the inn, end up going and talking to their weird professor dog man who's kind of like Goofy, except as a simp. He's also voiced by Niles from Frasier.
That's just static electricity from the carpet. It can happen to anyone. I'll show you what. Niles.
Stop poking me!
Who, if you didn't know, is really a good voice actor who also voiced as the Stick Boy from A Bug's Life. He's pretty funny in this. So with the help of that guy and the captain of the ship they're renting who's not human, and I refuse to comment on her, thank you.
I want more.
So Jim and his friend Dr. Doppler end up charting a ship to go and find Treasure Planet. And of course, Dr. Doppler can afford this because he's a rich white man. Typical, am I right? So they chartered this ship and they basically pay for a captain, and the captain and her first mate are like friends, but all the other seamen, astronauts? Solar sailors are just regular guys, completely trustworthy. Nothing evil or suspicious about them at all. And there's absolutely no reason why anybody shouldn't trust them. They're all just 100% loyal, trustworthy sailors. They are a completely trustworthy crew. Nothing to worry about here. Also, Jim befriends the cook, John Silver. What sets him apart from everyone else is he's the proud owner of this cute son of a bitch right here. His name is Morph. Isn't he cute? Isn't he adorable? Couldn't you just squish him between your toes? So throughout the film, Jim becomes friends with the cook. And basically through that, Jim kind of matures and grows as a person. The relationship is very cool. It's like father and son kind of concept. The film explains as well earlier is that Jim's biological father left the house and basically never came back with the milk. This relationship between John Silver and Jim is something that I miss from movies nowadays. It seems as if most father figures and just men in general in films nowadays are very soft. We should definitely bring back the strong fatherly figure. They find Treasure Planet, and just as they're about to head down to explore the planet, of course, pirates take over the ship. Nobody saw this coming. So Jim, the captain, and Dr. Doppler escape the ship, barely, and get shot out of the sky.
Dude, we're falling right out of the sky!
And fall and crash onto the planet. This is, of course, where we meet the most obnoxious character in the whole film. And of course, he's voiced by Martin Short.
And reboot!
The ending is great. It's tense, it's exciting, but without giving too much of that away, they find the treasure on the planet. Jim at the end is able to buy his mother a brand new inn, and he parts ways with John Silver. Everybody lives happily ever after. I guess I spoiled it. Shit. Upon inspection of IMDb, Treasure Planet currently has a 7.2 rating, which is actually the same rating as Encanto. What the f***? Now, if you've seen this film and you don't like it, that's fine. I respect your opinion. But at the end of the day, all I have to say is...
fuck you.
It's a great movie. You need to go check it out if you haven't. Definitely worth watching. A lot more watchable than most movies nowadays. Kind of the classic of Disney movies, in my opinion. You're probably wondering why I edit my videos how I do. I really hate the whole, like, filling in gaps with my face, as a lot of YouTubers do, and actually, like, talking to a camera. I find that super cringy, and I don't like having to look at my face, especially when I'm editing. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like. Don't forget to subscribe as well if you haven't. My videos are life-changing. No lie, no lie. Anyway, I'll see you in the next one.